Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another stream, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously this Saturday we had really three good games to look forward to. And then after that we've got to, review and recap and talk about what the hell we just watched today. You get me? So big up to every single one of you guys. Make sure you guys are slapping the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel if you're ready to do so. There's already 100 people in the building. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. And today's stream is a special one. I'm the special one, you get me? We're here to talk about the Seagulls slapping the shit out of Chelsea again. You get me? We're going to be talking about Marmoush, Hattrick today for Manchester City and another win. And we are going to be talking about Arsenal, Merino, aka the next R9, according to Arsenal fans. Scoring 2 goals today away at Leicester. Joining me first and foremost, no striker, no problem. Merino steps up. Everyone's favorite Australian. Shit, who's that I shot at? Only one I can think of is Nick, and Nick can hold that, to be fair. Man like Martin is in the building. How you doing, Martin?
Good, mate. Hold that, Nick. Al Jazeera, what's he called? Al Jazeera Australia.
Al Jazeera Australia, yep.
Yep. Big up Mikel Merino. I'm adding an H in there, so he's kind of like Brazilian. But yeah, he pulled us out of the fire, and Ethan Wanieri showed people some levels today. But yeah, excited to be on the show.
Did you just say showed Ethan Wanieri levels?
No, Ethan Wanieri showed people levels. His levels today.
I messed that up. I was like, damn, he was your best player today. Why are you... I was confused there for a second. Fair enough. 4 fantastic 4 today past Newcastle. You get me? No one in the planet expected that scoreline except me. Okay? I told that fraudulent little fraud, Lewis, on Thursday, Mr. LB hype. Told him this Thursday, you're going to slap Newcastle by a big margin. He's like, oh my God, have you been watching my club this season? He's losing his shit. You get me? The FIFA merchant. But now today we have the opposite of FIFA merchant. We have, you get me, the calm and relaxed City fan. You know, he's not a FIFA merchant like LB, just out here thinking signing solves everything. Savio was a summer signing. You see, he played well today. Hold that, LB. Joining us on the channel, of course, is my second favorite City fan to work with. First has to be Hamza. I'm sorry. We've been there together 4 years. Malak Martin is here. How are you doing, Martin?
Yeah, very good. By the way, I did predict with Smash them today.
You did?
I was actually in the minority, but I did say with Smash them today.
Fair.
I mean,
Can I ask you a genuine question? Do you think the tie Wednesday is over?
Depends how we play. Play like that, no. Play like we did on Wednesday, yeah. Tuesday, yeah.
I hear you. I've been saying I don't think it's over yet, to be honest with you, but we'll see. It'll be very interesting to see what Pep does this Wednesday. But
well, Real Madrid drew today to Osasuna as well, and Bellingham got a red card, so they're not looking that impressive right now.
Yeah, they did. Joining us next. He's been doing a tour of YouTube. You get me? He's been doing a tour. Wait, they ended up losing to Osasuna? When I left that game, it was 1-1 still.
It was 1-1.
Oh, they drew. Okay.
But they dropped points and they got a red card.
Jude got a red as well. So, yeah, they were chasing the game. That actually suits City because they ran a lot today. Anyway, tour of YouTube. I'll give him credit. Never hides. Always here. Always shows face. You get me? But other than that, he's here to explain why he doesn't show the same energy this year and last year. So I'm going to ask him a couple of harsh questions. I hope he's ready. Man like Andy is in the building. How are you doing, Andy?
Hello, Madrid. I'm here to discuss the 1-1 draw of Osasuna today. And,
No, you're not. No, you're not. You fraud.
Okay.
This guy thought he was going to get away with it. You think it's a fucking La Liga channel, mate?
Hey, everyone's swapping teams these days, you know? If your season's not looking good,
I just want to point out that Sam asked me to come on this channel before the Brighton game yesterday,
Yes,
not after the Brighton game. Just for anyone.
I
And Mo did as well. So I just want to ask them that, just tell people that he hasn't got me on, especially because you know, the rest of those frauds are hiding.
I actually asked everyone on this panel before a ball was even kicked. Like,
yeah. No.
Everyone.
Yeah.
I didn't know the results of any game.
What
Yeah,
happened to
exactly,
Greasy
yeah.
Don?
We're
Yeah.
here. So
I haven't seen Greasy Don in ages, and he was the
Oh, he's in
he
Paris.
was the biggest.
He's in Paris.
Paris.
he's in
Alan.
Paris hype, you know. Oh, I'm in
Yeah.
Paris. Okay, when like Mr. Worldwide out here, I was in Paris. Okay, bro, sorry. Okay, so what? There's no internet in Paris. Eat a croissant, get your ass on the stream, mate. You get me? Anyway, regardless, before we get this party started, everyone who's on the channel today, their links are in the description. Please do go subscribe to Yasser TV. He's going to be joining us as well. So we've got 2 Chelsea fans to discuss the crisis. Go subscribe to Casual FC as well. That's where you can find Andrew. A Mancunian Way is in the description as well. Go show Martin some love. A lot of City shows there. I'm in the comment section a couple of times as well. And unlike LB, I don't have to send a super chat for him to respond. So big up to Martin. And for Arsenal, Martin as well, where you can find him floating around YouTube. But we just put Saad's channel just so he doesn't cry, because he cried about it last time. You get me? So, yeah. 200 people in the building. Before we start off with the Chelsea topic, everyone, please let's get the likes up. Subscribe to the channel right here, right now. And yeah, let's just get into it. Andy. Oh, look, you have praises on this channel all the time. So what's going on at the Chelsea, mate? What's happening?
Okay, so before we start the conversation, I'm not going to talk about the ownership. I'm not going to talk about the sporting directors or the transfer window. I'm just going to talk about the game, because I think that's just fair. Because otherwise we get into a distraction.
Wow. Okay. Damn. Okay. That's actually.
Do we all get to do that at the start of our segment?
No. That's you guys. No, I'm just talking about myself. I just think
Big up.
it's fair.
Yeah.
I think those are obvious things. They are linked, but I just don't want to talk about it. So, I think it's now a time where you look at that game yesterday and just think that I think there's a time where a change is needed in terms of the formation, the players that we have, because it's just not working, right? It worked for a certain period of time for most of the first half of the season, but since about the Boxing Day onwards, it's just not clicking. And since we're picking up injuries and stuff like that, which means our options are a bit more limited. So, but yesterday's game, it was just Brighton. Brighton didn't really have to do much. They just walked through. They just walked through us, really. The first 3 shots on target were goals. I think they should have won like 5-0. If I'm being honest with you. Matoma went through, should have scored. They hit the post. Jorgensen gave the ball away. Could have been 6, actually. There is nothing. There is no player, sub or starting, that can come away with any credit. There's no... The manager and the coaching staff can't go away with any credit, because why are we crossing the ball in when no one's in there? I don't. That's obviously a tactic, right? So, and that's been happening for quite a few games. You have to obviously question the coach, and that's absolutely fine. You're probably going to ask me why I don't have the same energy for Poch, because and you'll have to admit this. My biggest takeaway after the transfer window was Chelsea was the manager was the biggest question mark after the transfers, because I didn't know what he was going to do, because he's only had 1 full season. So I don't have the same energy as I had for Poch, because I have different standards for Poch. Because Poch, I knew about Poch, what he'd done at Spurs and PSG and stuff like that. But that doesn't mean I can't question him like Poch, right? I can't question him like tactics. He needs that. He's like I do like the new coaches, but this new level of coaches, what you find in them is when they have a philosophy, they're very stubborn to it, which we did hear about it, right? We're seeing it, a bit stubborn. They sometimes don't want to change or change personnel, and he has to adapt and evolve and get out of his own way, because it's just not working. I would change the formation. I'd go back to a back 3. I'd get the attackers closer to each other, because there's so much space and distance between our attack. Like, the wingers are literally on the touchline, and they're not touchline wingers. Sancho's not a touchline winger. He's never been a touchline winger. He can start off wide, but he likes to drift in, likes to drift all over the place. Palmer did another great Bruno Fernandes impression again, where he gave away the ball several times, threw his arms in the air. Him and Nkunku just don't work. Nkunku doesn't work with Palmer. It's just not going to work. They want to do the same thing. But, and it's more questions. I don't know what he's going to do. I would, like I said, I'd switch the formation, but we deserve to get beat royally so. I thought, imagine this. I thought that was a rubbish performance in the FA Cup the previous week. This was worse than the previous week. It was actually worse than it was, and I don't know what he's gonna do in terms of that, but I think it's weird that we're in this run of form, but we're still within a shout of finishing in the top 4 at the moment. I don't know what it says about the rest of the league, but this is what we are at this moment in time. But he definitely needs to rethink a few things. Will he do it? I don't know, but it's the performance was what wasn't good enough. That was I can't. There's no positives whatsoever from last night whatsoever. Nothing whatsoever. I just feel sorry for those the fans who went there. That's all, that had to pay to see that. And then you get the quotes after the game from Gusto saying, "Oh, Brighton had more desire than us." I don't want to hear that. I don't want to. Do you think that makes the fans feel good that the ones who went down there who goes, "Oh yeah, we didn't have enough desire." You didn't have more desire than a team who, before you played them in the FA Cup, lost 7-0. Who lost 7-0? You didn't have more desire than a club who lost 7-0. Who hasn't won a league game at home for 3 months? Never won a league game at home for 3 months. I know we haven't won away for a while, but they haven't won for 3 months. They haven't won that. But you didn't have more desire. That's alarming, But the thing I'm not pulling my hair and saying Maresca out is because I expected yo-yo up and down this season. I picked us to finish 6th on Casually FC. You can ask them and people watching, but even if you have a yo-yo side, that performance yesterday is totally unacceptable. No matter who's in charge of this club, it's totally unacceptable whatsoever.
So you picked to finish 6th at the start of the season.
I picked and finished 6th after the transfer window. On Casually, we did we always wait till after. What we do is we always wait till after the transfer window because we then see who's got who until like the end, and then we rethink again after the January transfer window. But I said 6th because we didn't get a goalkeeper I liked, and we didn't get Osterman, right, or another striker.
But you guys were killing it under Poch at the end of last season. Like, I feel like Poch kind of fixed Chelsea, and then Maresca rode that wave, and now he's broken Chelsea again. I think you're 8 points at this time. You're 8 points ahead of where you were last season, and Poch was like in 12th or 14th or 11th or whatever for most of the first half of the season, and then he got his act together towards the end. And maybe it's fixture based, and you got like a little bit lucky towards the end. But I find it hard to understand what the plan is at Chelsea. Who has the reins of this situation?
You heard it this week. He came out and said it this week. It's not to get Champions League football this season. It's in 1 season or 2 seasons. That's what they said. That's what it is.
Is that Maresca trying to protect himself, or is that actually what the
club said? That'd be, listen, and you can call it yes manism. I totally understand that and stuff like that, but that would be fed to him for him to say, and that's what modern day managers will come out and say. We'll do that to protect those above, because those above. I'm not going to. I'll go into another tangent. I don't want to do that, but
it kind of feels a bit strange as well, because at first you thought Maresca's trying to take all the. He's basically trying to put a shield in front of the whole squad, right? Saying we're not in a title race, we're not in this, we're not in that. But then now it kind of looks like he gives you the deluded vibe. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like he says things that don't make sense, and then it's like, are you doing it to protect anyone, or do you actually mean what you're trying to say? With Poch, we knew that what he's saying is he actually believed it. That's probably why we were also a bit more onto Poch a little bit more. But at the same time, with Poch, it was more, he was experienced. He knew the league, and you expected more from him. I think that's and then obviously what he was saying after the games and the things he was doing in the games, it's what made his position untenable, if that makes sense. With the
I feel like you guys
I will say this against Maresca. I believed when he came out so many times and said his team's not in a title race, that gives a cop out to players publicly. Yeah. I wouldn't have said that. I would have said I'm delighted where I am. Let's see where we go. Do you know what I mean? Let's see where we go. Let's keep this going. Let's keep the momentum going, because what it does is it gives everyone a fallout. Then, oh, we're not supposed to be here. So what? Do you know what I mean? That's what I will say, and that's an experience coming through, because I wouldn't have done that, and then I wouldn't, So I don't mind what he said, like challenging players and stuff like that. But and also back on Maresca, I criticised him loads of times. He kept Sanchez in goal too long. Now, I don't really rate Jorgensen, but he should have been in a lot quicker to see how good he is. Do you know what I mean? Instead of having Sanchez there.
Yeah, especially earlier years, he could have tried it and seen this is his beginning. Like he literally just come in, so he can experiment with anything he wants.
Yes,
especially when he was in a good position.
He doesn't have to finish top 4 or in the Champions League, like he said this week. You would have thought that he's given greater leeway then to do what he wants, if that's not the case. Because our media in the summer last time, I said the next Chelsea manager is supposed to finish top 4 in a trophy. Okay, well now we're not. So narratives have changed. But going on, like I said, but I'll go back to that performance. No matter who's in charge, no matter what money's been spent, no matter what the injuries are, no matter what. I won't accept defeats, but if you understand this, you have to give me something from that defeat. Do you know what I mean? That I can take as a positive, right? If you can take from a defeat, like the performance. I don't mind losing if I can see, we tried all. Nothing yesterday from every single player, no matter who's played well this season. By the way, on a side note, Rutter has now destroyed Caicedo in the past 2 games. He's absolutely destroyed him in the past 2 games. And I would even say this. I think Caicedo is lucky not to get sent off yesterday with the amount of fouls he did yesterday. He definitely should have got one early in the game. But Rutter, sorry, I pronounced his name, has destroyed him in the past 2 games. Absolutely done that. And that's that.
You might not be supposed to be in a title race, but you're also not supposed to be below Bournemouth and Forest.
Well, yes,
two things
exactly.
can be
Yes,
true at the
exactly.
same
No matter
time.
who's in charge.
Like if I was doing a video with you both in August and I said you guys are going to be below Forest and Bournemouth, you'd have called me a hater. You'd have said you're doing this because you were just so with Poch and blah blah blah. Like you'd have said that. So we can. And I appreciate Andrew not doing the whole ownership thing, because I agree. Like, listen, the same people last season that were saying it's all Poch's fault is now gonna come out and say, "Oh, sack the board." I walked into watch-alongs after the 3rd goal went in. Sack the board now. Sack Stanley.
Because they had an idea from the beginning. That's the thing. They had the idea. Either they didn't want the ownership, so they're waiting for them to fail, so they can push that whole agenda again. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's any.
I also think though it's like, sorry, yes, I do apologize. I just think, like I said before, it doesn't matter who's in charge, who owns the club. It doesn't matter the injuries. A performance like that yesterday is unacceptable at any level of football. No matter how well your club's doing or not. We weren't going away to Forest, right? Who are on a good form, but you could say, well, yeah, they're on a good. This was Brighton, bro. They lost 7-0 before we played them against Forest.
Yeah,
they hadn't won at home for 3 months. They hadn't won at home in the league.
This Brighton has been. You guys tried to buy Brighton, basically, right? So it's personal for Brighton that they want to show you guys up every time. But I think the big issue with Chelsea is that you don't want to talk about the owners, but the buck stops with no one. Like if there's an issue and you start falling off a cliff, Maresca's immune because it's his first season. The players are on 8-year contracts, so they're not going to be working that hard for anything. The owners, they're like, we'll let the sporting directors deal with it. And the sporting directors are like 2 people or 3 people or whatever. I don't know. But at the moment, there's no one to take the blame. There's no one to say hey, this is my fault. We're going to get better. And I don't see a way out of it if there's no vision to drag you out of it, right? The players have to play for the manager because they want to.
I hate this term, but it's almost as if they are camouflaging the words they say, and they might as well just come out and tell them, it's a free hit season. Basically, last week they basically told me it's a free hit season, but by saying, we don't have to get the champion. I never said we're going to get the Champions League this season, but in the next season or the season after that. That's not what was sold. You know what I mean? In terms of last summer by their own media and stuff like that. You can change. Narratives change, and I understand that depending on how well you're doing, but you can't. It doesn't make. First of all, you can't. And this was before Maresca was signed. So they said the top 4 is supposed to challenge, get in the top 4 and win a cup, and then you go hire Maresca. That doesn't make sense to begin with. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense to begin with. You're already sending mixed messages. You then
I saw like a side by side of Tuchel and Tuchel talking about, I'm here, we're not just here to participate, we're here to win trophies. Now is the time to win trophies. We're going to win trophies right now. And I can contrast that with we'll just maybe next season we'll get top 4. Like, it's not Chelsea that I know of, and I don't think the fan base will accept that kind of like lowering of the targets. And especially because he sacked Poch when he was 6th, there's no way that Maresca can be allowed to finish below that. So I don't know. You've made a rod for your own back, and
the words of your board. Forget Andrew and Yasser as fans. The word of your board was Poch did not meet the targets expected this season, which is why we sacked him. So factually speaking, after you spend more money and do all that you've done last summer, what you're not going to do is come out and try convince me that now the target is not top 4. That's just total bullshit, man.
Yes,
that's just total bullshit.
It's total nonsense. Total nonsense. And I think what they looked at was the backlash online and in the crowd, and they've tried to change the narrative by now sending him out to say, oh, no, Champions League football's not for this season, it's for next season or the season after, because they've seen the backlash. Because everyone is actually pointing towards these 2 guys and the owners above, and not really Maresca. But I just want to focus back onto the game. He has to find a way to now change things. He has to change things himself. He has to understand. And this is the problem when you get an experienced manager. He has to try and get out of his own way. You know what I mean? It's not working at the moment, the way we're playing. We're not passing well. We're not even creating a lot of chances down the last few games like we were previously. We're creating a lot of chances, but we weren't taking them. We're not even doing that. I think even probably since the Man City game, we've hardly created a lot of chances, and that's the problem. So like yesterday, we didn't have a shot on target. We didn't have a shot on target. I can't even remember like a decent chance we had in yesterday's game. I really can't. Top of my head, I can't remember a chance that we had. Oh, Palmer blazed over. That was it. Probably in the first half. That was it.
They nearly scored an own goal. I think that was your only shot on target.
Yeah.
It was like a Ben.
Brighton's first 3 shots were goals. First 3 shots were goals. What are we doing it? You know what I mean? Brighton, who haven't won at home for 3 months. It's embarrassing. And they didn't even have to. I beg people, watch that 3rd goal. By the way, Minter did the same thing to Cucurella twice for his 2 goals. He literally just turned him inside out and hit it bottom corner. But that 3rd goal, they were at jogging pace, and they still went through us easily. They were jogging.
Can we take a moment to appreciate that Matoma touch that he pulled the ball down?
Yes.
I've never rarely when you see that, when the player stops looking at the ball. I think that happened to Chalobah. He was looking at Matoma, but Matoma was like seeing the ball over the top of his head and made it stop on a dime.
You know the game is gone.
I think that was like a ridiculous
touch. No, you know the game's gone when we rating a Matoma touch, because we barely see those anymore.
Well, you don't see anyone trying that stuff, game. But
yeah.
You know when someone said the phrase like "Joga Bonito," that was Joga Bonito right there. That was
that was good, man.
I was like watching, like them old fucking Rivaldo in action, like just.
I would say Bergkamp-esque, like the way he pulled it out of the sky. It was crazy.
Yeah, no, it's a great move.
Unbelievable.
It's a great goal.
And it's not even the first touch alone; it's the second touch as well to get past the player, and then the finish after that. And the good thing is Sanchez isn't in goal, so you can blame him.
No,
so
I don't blame him.
We have a friend for us all. We all work with. He's a very angry Italian man. He goes by the name of Footy Judge Mo. He always asks Martin a question. He goes, "What's the threshold?" So I'm gonna ask Yasser first, and then I'm gonna come to you, Andrew. What's your threshold for Mr. Enzo Maresca? What's gonna take for Yasser TV to turn?
If you finish outside the Champions League, because that was my aim from the beginning of the season. As much because my thing is this: the problem with these modern managers is that they put their philosophies above the team and the current situation, whatever it is. So, like, even if everything's going downhill, like you can see, for example, at United right now, where they can play a different system or do something slightly different, he just persists with playing his way or the no way. Even if right now he might be in danger of relegation, he will still stick to playing his way. And sometimes sometimes you just need to adapt certain things and make change. Like our manager wasn't making substitutions at some point when we needed someone to change the game, or maybe you know what I mean. There's so many things that I kind of put on him, even if he's experienced or not, because you don't have to be a manager to know. Bring on a striker, don't bring on a centre back when you're losing or 1-0 down. Do you know what I mean? But for me, it's just he needs to get Champions League football, bro. You know what I mean? And he actually has to win the Conference League too, but I guess that's standard. Do you know what I mean? I don't have to.
So let me paint you a scenario then. Fiorentina beat you in the Conference League final, and you lose out on top 5. What are you saying? You want him gone then?
Yalla. You know what I mean? Goodbye. You know what I mean? I can't lie, man. I can't. Nah. I don't think so, man.
I'm trying to work out if I want Maresca to stay or get fired. Like as a rival.
I think that's more than fair. I think it's more than fair. But listen to what he said last week. I don't think they'd get rid of him after what was said this week. So I'd want him gone because I think that no matter what form they're in, I think the Conference League is a layup. Do you know what I mean? It's an easy slam dunk.
Yep.
It should be.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It shouldn't be like it should be. Conference League should be a given, right? Because it just should be by the level of competition in there. Do you know what I mean? So, and if you
guys lose to Real Betis with Anthony scoring the goal, I think that would go down as probably the biggest fail of all time. Like you've got a free run in the Conference League, but if Anthony
my God, did you actually just say that? Oh my God.
No, it would be the biggest embarrassment I've ever had as a Chelsea fan, and I'm very pre-Roman Chelsea fan as well. You know what I mean? I can't even like
that actually
even when
happens. I wouldn't know what to say. Actually,
even when we got knocked out in the old UEFA Cup by some Norwegian fishing team or something like that, this would be more embarrassing. I think. So,
you guys remember in the Europa League like 4 years ago, prime AFTV, when Arsenal lost 2-1 to Östersunds? Remember?
Yeah. Wasn't that at home? That was at home, was it? Was that home? Was it at the Emirates?
That was when Potter was manager, right?
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was when Potter was manager.
Potter was the manager of Östersunds.
Yeah.
And
that
he
against
beat
Emery?
Yeah, that was against Emery.
Yeah.
That was against Emery, but you ended up winning the home game, but you lost over there. I don't even know if it's Norway or Denmark.
Gig in the Premier League. Right?
Yeah. That was one of the reasons. Hey, fair enough. That's how Potter made it. Now you have to play Potter again this Wednesday.
Yeah,
we're not talking Arsenal now. So, City, Martin, you haven't spoken yet, really. So tell me your thoughts on the Chelsea situation right now.
For a start off, I think we need to start having a conversation on Cole Palmer in a bit. Because we're having the same energy for Phil Foden like everyone's doing. We've got to start with the same energy for Cole Palmer. But when I'm told Cole Palmer's past Phil Foden, and every time there's a big game, Cole Palmer goes MIA, MIA, and he's on the side of milk cartons. And I don't mind, I quite like Cole Palmer, but no, in all seriousness, I don't know what the Chelsea aim is. This is where I'm confused. I don't know what the aim is. Is it top 4? Is it a title? What is it? What is it? This is what I need, because 1 week it's top 4, then it's Europa, then it's a title. I just don't know. I don't know what the aim is. So I'm finding it very hard to judge Maresca and Chelsea until I fully know what the game is. Because you're bringing all these young players and then demand instant success. Well, that isn't how you work with a young squad.
Yep.
You've got to go with the patience and you've got to go with the building of it. And you especially then you bring in a young manager as well. It keeps coming back to me as the word of patience. And the trouble is in 2025 football, by the way, nobody's got patience anymore. Everyone wants that instant success. So you turn around and you sack Maresca. What do? You're going right back to square one again. And you're starting again. And you've still got a young squad.
Yeah.
So this is my issue. I don't understand what the target is.
Yeah,
I'm so happy Martin mentioned as well Cole Palmer, because I do agree with him. Listen, guys, energy is beautiful. I love consistent energy. Okay, because we showed energy towards Foden at the start of the season, first 4 months, rightfully so, because he was shit every time he played. If Bukayo Saka has a bad game, we speak about it. If Salah has a bad game, we speak about it. When I work with Chelsea fans and you put Cole Palmer on a pedestal, he's just going to be held to that standard. When you put him in best player in the league conversation, he's going to be held to that standard. And once again, this is another game where Cole Palmer actively on the pitch is non-existent, doesn't help out the team, doesn't help out the players, is not even direct enough. He's getting bullied by Baleba every time he gets the ball. Not that Baleba's a bad player, but if you're the best player in the league, I'm sorry, Baleba shouldn't be a test for you that, to fail. You get what I'm saying? So when it comes to Cole Palmer, like, when you put him above certain players and you have these conversations regarding him, he will be held to that standard, and just a reality situation. And I said that he won't have as many GA, and that's something I never changed my opinion on. He won't have as many GA this year as he did under Pochettino, but there's a reason for that. This is not like Poch prop. It's in a slight way it is, but I'm saying with Poch is like what he usually does is he takes one forward, gives him complete freedom. Like he looks out for that one forward player that's better than everyone else and just gives him freedom. And there's a reason why Mbappe had his best GA at PSG under Poch. So like, and even last season, like you could see Palmer had just the freedom, just do whatever the fuck you want. I don't think he has that freedom now under Maresca, because it's like this whole, okay, the team has to get better and stuff, which maybe in the long term will pay its dividends. But right now it's hurting Cole Palmer specifically in a negative sense. And he himself, some of the times, Mo just raided us. Big up Mo for the raid. Big up everyone who just walked in as well from Mo's channel. So do like the video and subscribe on your way in. So with his like what Martin said regarding Cole Palmer, it is true. If we do say stuff about Foden and Saka and Bellingham and everyone, we do have to say stuff about him, because as much as Maresca is accountable, how do you play on the pitch? Like, okay, your team is struggling. Why don't you take the game by the scruff of the neck? Why don't you take responsibility? Why don't you do what you do? Because I know for a fact if Arsenal lose 3-0 and Saka has that performance, we're doing Saka investigations on fucking YouTube. So that's the thing. I remember the fourth game of the season. Salah already had like 7 GA. Bad game against Forest. Lewis comes on the stream. Oh, how many touches did Mo Salah have? Now I go on his stream and he's like, sack the board. So, with Cole Palmer, we need to have a conversation. What's going on, Andrew?
I'm very consistent. I've been consistent with Cole Palmer, Sam. I've said he's got the numbers, but his performances are nowhere near last season's performances for me. And I also said to you that game against Brighton, where it all blew up, and he's people say he's the best. He's a world-class player. No, he had a world-class performance in that game. He had a world-class performance. He made Premier League history. But you're right. It's what I said about 10 minutes ago. The last few games, he's given great Bruno Fernandes impressions, if you know what I mean by that. Do you understand what I mean by that? In terms of aimlessly passing.
I wasn't going that far, by the way, Andrew.
I just meant the last few games, Martin.
Bruno Fernandes.
I mean, in terms of this. I mean, aimlessly passing and then holding your arms out in the air like it's no one else. It's not his problem or his responsibility and stuff like that. Now, true, he's created a lot of chances this season. That's fine. But you're right. In a game like yesterday, if your team's not playing well, grab it by the scruff of the neck and just start shooting. Even if it just do something that's different. Do you know what I mean? Just do that. We put you on a pedestal, rightfully so, for your performances. I'm not one of these people. I criticize. Listen, I've watched my team and everything. I've criticized the best. So I have no problem criticizing Palmer when he deserves it. And for the last few games, he has deserved it because he's not played well at all. Even probably worse than previous this season, where I think he's done well, but he needs to do better. Now, is that a system issue? Maybe. But sometimes you just need to, like last season, you just need to take the game and just run with it and just be the best player on the pitch. And he's not done that. And so when Chelsea, I don't think Yasser's one of these people. I'm just sorry if I'm speaking to you.
No,
But
you're right.
Chelsea fans are scared to they'll do this. Someone criticizing Palmer, the next sentence will be this. Oh yeah, but what about blah blah blah? You know what I mean? No,
what did you with Saka?
focus on Palmer. He didn't play well. He has not played well. Now people are gonna go, yeah, but he's not playing with the right players. You don't always get to play with the right players due to the injuries or suspensions, or you just don't. You've got to. He didn't have the right players last season, and he played well. Do you know what I mean? So just he's not playing well, and that's the problem. No one else is then stepping up, but that's on them to step up. Focus on Cole Palmer. What can you do? How about not passing it just for passing's sake? Recycle the ball, get it back again. Not being so slow when he drops deep in our own half and nearly getting the ball nicked off him, which he did do for the Palace goal when they equalised. Do you know what I mean? He had all the hype. I don't know if I'm going to put this out as a question. I don't necessarily 100% believe it myself, but is he believing his own hype, right? Or his own PR? All young players could do it. It's ego, right? Football's about ego. Do they believe your own hype?
I joked about this yesterday that he should just stand on the penalty spot and wait for the ball to come to him because that's his bread and butter. But I think his issue is Cole Palmer is a player that's very tricky, and he can maybe draw 2 or 3 men and create an opening. But who's he passing it to? He's passing it to Neto, who's badly out of form, Sancho, who's badly out of form, and Nkunku, who's badly out of form, never plays. Jackson's injured. Madueke, is he injured now too?
Yeah, he's now injured. Yeah.
He doesn't have a killer to work with. He doesn't have the ball to he doesn't have someone to bounce the pressure with, you know? So I don't think there's many players in the Premier League that can just take a Premier League game by the scruff of the neck and run it on their own. And I don't know whether there's the right help there for him. I think
he might benefit. I think he might benefit from. I think this team might benefit. At least try it. I don't know if you have to think this. I think he might benefit from a system change in terms of going 3 at the back. You get the attack right it is right now, but more closer together because it just seems to me it's just too far apart. I mean, it looks like there's no one who's got a free mind to actually go, well, actually, I'm too far away. I'm going to get closer. No, it's just regimented. These players are just regimented. I've seen it with not just my team, but other teams. They're just regimented to stay in a position and just do what you're being asked to like that. But on Cole Palmer alone, he should be criticised. If you're going to put him up there with Saka or Foden, then you should accept the criticism when you're all right to give the praise. I hate this thing every day. It's like, I hate this, I don't like it when Liverpool fans do it with Salah. That's why that's why I don't get in the Salah debates anymore because he's a very good player. But I just don't like this, we got to protect this. He's our player. We got to protect him from criticism. No. If you can critique Lampard as a player, Hazard as a player, Mata as a player, Zola as a player, then I can critique Cole Palmer because as well as he did last season, unlike those players I've said before, he's done nothing for me as my club. He's done nothing for me. We've not won anything with him or anything like that. So until you do something for me, until you put money in the bank, essentially, then you're open game for me. You're fair game. So he needs to step up. He's old enough now. I know it's only his second season, stuff like that, but he needs to step up and he needs to be better. Do
you think there's an element of Maresca having a plan and then that plan being figured out? I feel like you guys used to be like a swarm of motion. You had Cucurella overlapping, Gusto overlapping, inverting, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Now I didn't find a different way to play.
Sorry, Andrea, let me answer this one. Because for me, I didn't like the fact that he was making Gusto overlap. That's like trying to teach a 5-year-old algebra. His thing is literally he knows the times tables and that's it. So he's an overlapping right back, like a book standard right back. That's it. You don't invert him because he looks lost in midfield. It's so annoying when you see him in midfield. That it's so annoying because he always forgets that he doesn't know when to come back into the right back position. Do you know? So he's either comes back in late, or he gets what happened in the Fulham game where Neto has to basically play right back to cover him.
Yeah,
And then Maresca does this thing where he inverts both left and right backs. So it's not just one. Now Cucurella usually supports Sancho well by overlapping, and then Sancho can either go, cut in, or dummy it and pass it back to Cucurella or whatever. But he hasn't got that either because he's inverting. The other guy's in. So he's trying to just fill up that midfield and see if he can win the battle that way. Palmer could maybe be moved to the right wing. We've seen him play well over there. We haven't seen him play there. We haven't seen him play on that side. Even Andrew, we've said it, I think, on Lewis's channel and stuff like that before. If he's not playing well, just hook him and play Felix or play Nkunku, whatever it is. Sometimes try something else. And I think one of the reasons the number 10 position is kind of fading away, it's just that sometimes, especially in big games, it can just playing in the 10, it can just bypass you. The game could just bypass you, with long balls and stuff like that. You could just end up just being the one that's just roaming around. And we've seen it in some of our games where people don't take that risk to pass in between the lines. Especially with Cole Palmer, usually he picks it up in between the lines and can just turn and tries if you can pick a pass, but he just end up dropping deep.
Yeah, so let me just do the super chat because this has been a topic that's been brought up a lot as well. The whole Maresca saying, obviously, big up to Twinny. Thanks so much, Twinny. He says, Maresca fucked up saying they weren't in the race. Shoot for the Stars title. And if you miss, you land on the moon. Top 4. Could have built a winning mentality.
Yeah.
Since he made those comments, Chelsea have won 2 in 10.
Yeah.
Is it a coincidence or is it not a coincidence?
I think it doesn't help because it gives players, they want a cop out, don't they? Do you know what I mean? I can't, they want, like I said earlier, players will take, if it's not going well, they're the first to throw the manager under the bus, not say anything, but just by their performances. But just going back to the Palmer thing, Palmer wasn't man-marked again. The only game I've seen Palmer man-marked, and yes, you'll have to remind me, I think it was only Liverpool away. It was only Liverpool away I've seen him man-marked.
And then
he wasn't man-marked.
Andrew, do you remember as well? He moved him to the left-hand spaces in the second half and stuff. When he's better playing at the right.
Exactly.
He's
not a 10.
No, he's not. He's not a 10. He's not a 10.
I don't understand where this 10 things come from.
I don't know either. For me, he's just like,
he's a winger.
I think it's like Sancho at Dortmund. He wasn't a 10 or a winger. He's allowed to float and go around. That's what was good with Palmer last year. And that's why I always praise Poch for this, that he started him on the right. I did. Don't try that. I don't try that. You know that. He allowed him, but he drifted in off the right. Then you had another player that was already playing the 10 or another inside role like that. And that's where he linked up well with Jackson as well. Because he was
I know you both were Poch out, but deadass, if you had Poch on this team, you'd be like 3rd right now.
Yeah, no, but Poch got beaten yesterday.
I really don't know that. But,
you know what I mean?
But what I'm saying is this. But going back to position, mine's right. Yasser's right.
Yasser, is your rebuttal a fucking charity game? Can you have some shame?
Even in the charity
game.
Can
you find some shame? You see, this is why, people like Yasser is the reason why I can never take it easy on that fan base. Everything that like he built up towards the end of last season, I think would have like continued into this year. Genuinely, like because you were riding the vibe and the wave, and it was starting to cook. It was starting to cook. Yes, he got there late, but he was starting to. طب حبيبي, okay, both of you. يعني what if the reverse of Poch happens this season? Maresca starts really good, and then he fucks it. Because here's the thing. Let me tell you.
You know what?
Let me tell you both something, yeah? Let me tell you both something, yeah? Because you're out here acting like, it's not possible. Okay, your next game, fucking Villa away, okay? Yeah. Then you play Southampton, Leicester at home, no problem. We expect you to win. Then after that, you go to the Emirates. You got the derby against Spurs. You go away to Brentford. Ipswich at home, low block from hell. Fulham away, not easy. Everton, Liverpool, Newcastle. Man, have you actually seen the fucking empty? Only 2 games. I'll tell you right now. Okay, I'll be completely honest. You have how many games left at the end of the season? Let me just count them, right?
Is it 14? 13?
Villa, Southampton, Leicester, Arsenal, Spurs, Brentford, Ipswich, Fulham, Everton, Liverpool, Man United, Newcastle. So you've got 12 games left at the end of the season. I'm not even going to be intellectually dishonest. 13 games, sorry. I'm not going to be intellectually dishonest. I'm not going to say any crazy shit. The game that I can hand on heart say Chelsea are going to win 100%, Southampton, Leicester, Spurs, because you always slap them up, Ipswich. 4 out
That's
of
fine.
13. I guarantee you win.
Yeah.
Liverpool
The other, I
didn't even
don't.
beat Ipswich the other day.
I don't. The others.
But, yeah.
I'm sorry, it's fucking reality, guys. I'm just
No,
sorry.
and that I can understand that. I can understand that where you're coming from as a outside Chelsea fan. I can understand that. I've got no real response to that. There's nothing I can rebuttal of that. Someone else speak.
If you guys don't get enough good results quickly, you're gonna have to sack him, right? The pressure's going to be coming from the fans intensely.
The pressure from the fans will. The pressure from the fans will absolutely definitely. Pressure from the fans will.
Sorry.
Stop.
I have to jump in. No, sorry, Andrew. No, Andrew, I'm not having that from Martin. I'm not doing it. Do not talk about
Yasser, sit back. Don't say anything, Yasser, now. Don't say anything, Yasser.
And had your nose so far up at Arteta's rear end, you can taste what he's having for breakfast. Do not tell me about sacking a manager. Do not be that fan, Martin.
You said patience is a virtue a second ago, and now you don't like patience.
5 years is way more than
6 months and 5 years is a bit of a difference.
half a decade. You know.
Sorry, I was just talking about Chelsea. Why are we? What are we?
I'm trying
to say, don't be a hypocrite.
You have a meltdown when someone talks about sacking Arteta.
No, I don't. I never have a meltdown. Actually, I'm pretty calm.
That's a lie.
I've been on enough shows with you to know when you don't do that. Don't be that.
Well, Arteta hasn't had a run of results like this since his second season, and I'm pretty much sure everyone was saying sack him at the time. Like, I think it was like 12 games with 1 win against Man United, and I was on the board.
Hang on a minute. Maresca wasn't meant to be winning the title. You've been trying to win a title for 3 years. Let's not do this.
I don't know why that's relative. We've been trying to win the title for 3 years because we put ourselves in that conversation. I don't think it's a bad thing.
And the first time, what I'm trying to say, the first time Chelsea roll into a little bit of a title talk and they drop out, you're asking, should they sack him? You're not seeing
I am just reading between the lines with what I'm seeing from Chelsea fans who are very quick to, like, I don't know, there's a lot of anger and finger pointing going on in the Chelsea fan base, and there's nowhere for that. There's no outlet for it because the owners are there for another 4, 5, 6 years guaranteed, right? The sporting directors hide behind this wall.
7.
The sporting directors aren't there to answer questions. Maresca's there just like going, they've told me I've got plenty of time. There's no, as I said before, the buck stops with no one, and the fans are just going to get more and more angry. If you lose another couple of games out of the next 3, I can see it just becoming like super toxic.
Yeah.
Listen, Aston Villa away. Let's be objective here. They're probably going to lose that, right? I'm not even trying to be an asshole or anything. Probably going to lose that.
I'm not going. That's why I'm not going because
Yeah,
it's down the
hold
road.
that,
I'm not trying to go.
So
bro.
if you lose that game right there, it'll be even worse than it is now. Big up to O'Malley. Thank you so much for the super chat, O'Malley. Big up to you, Anthony. Big up. He says, do Chelsea fans think the ease at which players can leave the club for other clubs if they're not playing or not playing in their position limits the ability of the squad to develop? Why commit to the project? Let me just say one thing, right? I'm going to drop a conspiracy on the managerial thing.
Okay.
I think the reason why they sacked Poch is not because he didn't achieve his target. The reason why he sacked Poch is because he called them out publicly and he wanted a bit more transfer control. He wanted, like, essentially to get his type of players, and he wanted to get his, like,
a longer
football.
contract. He wanted a longer contract.
He wanted Ugarte.
Yes,
and
I really don't think it was a target thing. Because when you're talking about the project, because your final question is why commit to the project? I put myself in the footballer's shoes.
Yeah.
Right? A footballer's career, if we're being honest, a lot of the time doesn't work out how many people expected.
Yeah.
Right? Let's just be fucking honest here. Imagine we're talking about Neymar at Santos versus Neymar now. Like, Neymar at Santos, people were fucking watching Brazilian league all over the world to watch this little kid play. Like, oh, the next Ronaldinho region.
Yeah.
When you look at that Chelsea team, some of those players, prime example, Joao Felix. Joao Felix got offered a 7-year contract. He's the stupidest bastard on the planet if he doesn't sign that contract.
Exactly.
He's the dumbest guy on earth if he does not sign that contract. Mudryk got offered an 8-year, 9-year contract. You're the dumbest guy on earth if you don't sign that contract. If I'm a football player, I'm being genuine right now. If I'm a football player and a London club is offering me an 8-year contract, the next 8 years of my life, I'm going to get paid every single fucking year. like guaranteed payment. I'm
Yeah.
signing that shit. I'll
Of
be
course
honest
you
with
are.
you.
It's
Like
security.
from a player's
Security.
perspective, no player saying no. Like that probably played a massive role in Caicedo's decision to choose Chelsea. I know he gave the word and everything, but the length of contract and how long he signed for, he's like, shit, if I sign this like 6-7 year contract, essentially 3/4 of my career has been like literally like I'm guaranteed the money.
Yeah. I mean, all you have to negotiate is just pay rises, don't you? Don't have to negotiate length of contract or anything like that. That's all you have to do. I would sign that. It's security. Because you're right. I could sign the contract one day and the next day I go into training, snap my Achilles or ACL, and I'm never the same again. I would sign it. It's security, guys. You know what I mean?
It's just, but isn't it you get low wages, but then it's performance based, and that's how you get the
That's
big
the thing
wages.
as well. Apparently, the what was going around is that the wages go up if Chelsea make it into the Champions League.
Yeah,
which frustrates me of performances like yesterday. It's like, well, don't you guys then want to get paid more? Don't you want your wages to go up?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, so wait a minute, you're happy with Conference League wages then? You're right.
But don't you think that's a really weird situation for the players where they've agreed to such a long contract? Like normally you'd think they've got like career aspirations. Maybe they want to like go to Real Madrid or Barcelona or whatever, but like they're locking themselves into such a long deal that A, it's demotivating for them because like, what's the motivation? I'm set for life now. I've got 8-year deal. And B, like, how does that work when someone wants to take your player like Felix? Like, how much are you going to charge Atletico Madrid? Is it Atletico? No, where is he at? He's AC Milan.
Well, Milan. Let's face it. Italian clubs won't pay what English clubs are asking for their players anyway. Let alone
Well, Felix has got a 7-year contract. Like, what are you guys going to expect for that? Like,
I have no. Listen,
that's what I'm saying. When you say aspirations to play, okay, like certain players have aspirations to play for Real Madrid. Maybe if you're like an Enzo or something, I get it. But like Nicholas Jackson doesn't think that he's gonna go play for Real Madrid one day. Like it's like a dream that he has. Maybe like, you know, at the back of his head when he sat there staring at the ceiling, maybe one day he was like, oh, I wish I could play for them. But like he doesn't really believe it deep down type shit. You get what I'm saying?
That's why the long players will sign the longer contracts because they haven't reached their potential or whatever buzzword you want to use. So they're all right signing a long-term contract because they don't know what they're going to achieve themselves, if they're going to improve or stuff like that. You know, that's what Palmer signed a 7-year contract, and then this time I signed a 2-year extension with a pay rise. Do you know what I mean? He didn't know he was going to hit the ground running. Even if he backed himself, probably didn't think he was going to do that as well as he did last season. But I don't think it will work with established players when you go for them. Do you know what I mean? Like the ones that you'll like. I don't think it will just work like that. It probably won't work now because of the contract laws anyway. But it just wouldn't work with more established players, and that's the whole point. It's the whole thing about going to younger players. You put them on longer contracts because they'll accept it. You know.
Yeah, but I think it's more to protect the asset. So you know nowadays all these players are running out their contracts.
It goes both ways. It's to protect the club and the player. Do you know what I mean? So if they do well and they do want to sell, and someone comes in for one of our players and they've got 4 or 5 years left on it, you can demand top prices for them. It happens all the time.
Because a lot of people are running down their contracts nowadays. It's either that.
Yeah, exactly. Look at it. Yeah, exactly. That's why people are. That's why Sam's mob are scratching their heads and worrying because 3 of their players are about to possibly leave for free.
Yeah, but there is a fucking in the middle. It's not 9-year contract or no contract.
No. But I'm just talking about contracts in general.
No 3-year contract.
No, we're talking about contracts in general, though, right? That's the whole thing. It's to protect the club.
Who needs 7-year deals? You need to do 10-year deals. That's the way forward.
Yeah.
10-year deals are the way forward.
Is that right, Martin? Just all 10-year deals now at City. Is that what
10-year deals now? That's the way forward.
Do you remember Theo Walcott used to play really well just before he re-signed? Like, I think you've got to keep the players like on their toes, otherwise they're not going to try hard for any part of that contract.
You're gonna have the Luke Shaw thing, you know, when he plays well every contract year and then he signs a 2-year extension and he's missing for like the next 18 months after that. He's like,
yeah, Luke Shaw.
Top 4 is the Red Cartel. Let's go, lol. This is true, but I'd love for it to be true. But unfortunately for you, City are 4th right now. So
Are Forest
yeah.
part of the Red Cartel now? Are Forest part of the Red Cartel?
Apparently, Forest is Red
They're
Cartel
red.
some way, somehow. You get me? So,
Nottingham
Yeah,
Forest
I get
keep doing the Okie-Coca. They're choosing whatever side suits on what day. The moment.
big up enough.
I'm City
Big
won
up.
ATP. If they're not won ATP, what side am I going on?
Yeah, that's right.
I want to know when there's going to be a benefit to this Red Cartel. Like I keep hearing about it, but I don't know. Like, haven't seen any benefits.
Any benefits? You've just been proven to have an illegal laws in for God knows how long. Behave.
Yeah, illegal. You guys are just rewriting history with your team of lawyers.
Yeah.
Ah, bro,
Panic.
come on. You know,
Big up to Jenny. Listen, let's give Chelsea some breathing space. I want to move on topic. Khalas, we've spoken about them long enough. You know, almost as long as it took
1
Brighton to
hour
score
cooking.
3 goals. Big up to Jenny who says, big up Hussam. Happy to see Andrew on the panel. Smash the likes, people. Listen, Andrew is like a breath of fresh air because it's like, he knows, like, oh, sack the board, win Stanley out. No, mate. Tell me why you lost 3-0 to Brighton first. And then we take it from there. You get me? So let's talk about that first. You get what I'm saying?
exactly.
So, yeah. Anyway, before we move on to Arsenal, because today Mikel R9 scored 2 goals. Big up to all of you guys. Make sure you guys are listening to what Jenny's saying and smashing the like button. Guys, we have 600 people in here.
Jenny.
Just like the video, man. Like the video, subscribe. All these guys' channels is in the description. We're 15 games unbeaten. Liverpool are still clear of us. Standards are so high now because of Klopp and Pep. We'd be on a three-peat in Sir Alex's day, is what JB's saying. Liverpool are still clear of us.
Is he an Arsenal fan?
Who's this?
Is he an Arsenal fan?
Are Arsenal 15 unbeaten?
Yeah, we've set some.
They are. Yeah, they are. There's a few draws in there, but yeah, no. But
5
You'd
draws,
be on a
10
three-peat in Sir Alex's day.
JB,
Yeah, but I could say that about Klopp's teams as well. Like, you know,
no,
they were
but
probably
JB, you wouldn't be on a 3-peat in Sir Alex's day because he'd be winning it, so you wouldn't be on a 3-peat at all. Sir Alex would be winning it. So
No, he only gets to 80 points, the low 80s.
Martin, the floor is yours. Talk to me.
We need to talk about Raheem Sterling, and this is the
we
end of
just
his
got
career
off Chelsea,
today.
man.
I gave him a positive layup. I said Mikel R9. I said Arsenal won. See, it wasn't me, chat. Don't blame me.
No, I think it's the elephant in the room, or the very small animal in the room, at least whatever he is. But I haven't seen a performance that bad in an Arsenal shirt for as long as I can remember. I mean, maybe going back to some real stinkers like Sonogos and stuff, but I couldn't believe he stayed on until the 75th minute or something like that. I felt like Arteta was just trying to give him a chance to do something to, like, you know, impress people. But if we'd brought Mikel Merino on at halftime instead of waiting all that time, maybe he would have got a hat-trick or 4 goals or something. But it wasn't working, and it was horrible to watch. He was offside. He was passing backwards. He was not involved in the game at all, and he looked like he was trying really hard, which is kind of sad for him. But yeah, we knew that we were basically down to 2 attackers, and Trossard was like a tiny little guy working on his own up in the middle there, and Wanyeri was actually doing a lot of the really good play. So look, it's an interesting situation we're in. It's almost like there's 2 realities with Arsenal. There's one, if you're negative, you know, the sky is falling, crisis, sack the manager, we should have done this ages ago. And then there's like the actual, you know, performances, results that we're in. Like, we're in a pretty strong position. We're now 4 points behind Liverpool instead of the 9 that we were talking about. I know these guys need to go and play on tomorrow, right? You're probably playing Wolves, is it?
Yeah, tomorrow. Don't act like you don't know. You know my next 10 fixtures. Don't even.
No, I thought it was Monday for some reason, but the Australian time zones on websites, you know, stuff gets pushed to the different days. But yeah, I'd expect you guys to win that, but I think it's more interesting now. And I actually had to like I left one of the Guna group chats because I just got, like, during the game, constantly, like, everyone just ragging on every single player, like saying everyone's shit, you know, blah blah blah. And then Merino scores, and everyone's just like, "Oh, okay, you know, I'll come back to being like a normal fan again." But I find it very draining trying to, like, enjoy the game while everyone's focused on trying to dunk as hard as they can on your own players. And I'm sure other fan bases are aware of this kind of stuff, like Chelsea, for example. I've seen it too, but it's a very toxic place to be. And there's a lot of people which have given up on the title race, which I think is actually pathetic. So I don't really want to associate with anyone that wants to bring us down. I'm interested in trying to get to the end of the season, and then we can talk about who needs to go and what needs to happen. But between now and the end of the season, it's like 13 games. We just need to win, and I don't care how we win. I don't care if it's like off someone's butt in the 95th minute for a 1-0 stinky win. That's just how it is right now. We've got to get as many points as we can and keep the pressure on Liverpool because they are kind of struggling a little bit right now. And for a team that's not in the title race, they're just in the tree, right, being a leopard. I think that they're starting to feel the pressure a little bit. And we need to do that. And if we're fighting ourselves and we're not believing in the players or the manager or we're booing or whatever at halftime, I think we're not going to get there. So I don't know. I went back and I looked at 89 when we beat Liverpool to the title, and it would be in 18 years, and we won at Anfield on goal, and we won the league on goal difference. Like, these are the kind of things that we need to look back to and get some strength from. But a lot of our fans are too young to really appreciate any of like the stuff that we've done before. So I find myself on an island of one, believing that we win the league. We're not giving up, at least. But summary, it was a pretty crap game. The first half was boring. I mean, I had to get up at 4:30 a.m. to watch this. So it was really, it's like, Leicester, are we going to win that? Maybe I can sleep in and just like watch a replay or something. But no, I got up and suffered through it like everyone else. And is Merino going to be the answer for the rest of the season? I don't think so, but maybe like 3 or 4 weeks, we might be able to squeeze a few performances out of it up there and try and get some players back to finish the season off strong. So open to questions. I don't know. Apparently I'm worse than a gal, according to the comments. So
yeah, why is everyone quiet when Arsenal win a game? You guys were usually probably already barking at Martin, and now you're all quiet. You can speak to him, you're all guests on the show to tell us your fucking opinions. So
I just
you're all quiet. Merino scored twice and everyone's quiet all of a sudden,
Hey, no, so I'm all right.
Yeah, I think he'll still start.
About the title.
Yeah, I think he'll still start that same front three against West Ham.
Sterling.
I think he'll start Sterling against West Ham.
No,
I think he'll start the same front three.
That's the only thing you have, though.
If you don't have anything else, Merino will be your secret weapon.
Merino has to start. He did enough in that 15 minutes to prove that he has to start. And look, he took some very good chances there. It's funny because he's had like a lot of similar chances when he's playing in midfield and he's just missed them. But now he's a striker. He's just like, oh, okay, I'm a striker. I'll just put it in because that's my job. But I don't know. I think Sterling cannot start another game for the rest of the season.
Okay. I think he would. I still think he'll start. I think he'll start. You got no.
I'm sorry. You're one game away from saying Zinchenko was the number 9 at this point. You're going through your squads to put us number 9 and then making him out to be the next R9. What we're doing here?
No, I didn't say R9, but I did look for the profile of Merino. Like, I wanted that kind of big, tall striker that's going to be there as a backup.
You finished with a front two of Rice and Marino.
Exactly. And you want to go to Anfield with that. You want to go to Anfield with that. Yeah. Good luck. Good luck with that, Martin. Yeah.
You then this was at 0-0. You then bought on Jorginho on, and you bought on Calafiori to replace Lewis Skelly instead of possibly bringing on Calafiori and putting Lewis Skelly in midfield, which he is a midfielder, by the way, to see if he can do something different. You ended up with the most defensive attacking lineup I've ever seen in my life in the Premier League. You went proper Barclays 4-4-2 at the end and just lumped the ball in the box for the last 15 minutes. That's what you did.
And the fucked up thing is it worked. It worked as well.
Like, that was the thing. It worked.
It worked.
It worked.
Well,
that was the most annoying thing about it. It worked, and it shouldn't have done, but it did work. Merino did great, but I know, and credit to you, Martin, Aston Martin. I've been on sit with him on stream since last summer. He has always wanted a striker. He wanted Ivan Toney in the summer. So he's not like one of these other Arsenal fans go, oh, we didn't need to buy a striker. We got Merino now. Like I'm seeing in your fan base. We got Merino now as our striker. But if that probably won't work away at Anfield. Do you know what I mean? It probably worked. It probably worked away at Leicester. Probably home to West Ham and so forth. I think you'll obviously win more games than you'll lose with your running and stuff like that. But I just think it just sums up. I think that the transfer windows for you. I know you've been very frustrated with the transfer windows about that. That everything's reliant on even Nwaneri. Too much is relied upon him already at 17 for this team.
He's the new Saka.
Imagine, I don't know if you probably don't actually win that game without Nwaneri today. You don't win that game, I don't think, because he's the one who crossed it in. He's the one who crossed it in for Merino for the first goal. I don't think you win that game. I just don't, and I think that's just a remarkable lack of planning and arrogance, or whatever you want to do it, or just it's just you shouldn't be like this. You shouldn't have to be relying on Merino to cross it in from a 17-year-old to get you out of trouble, because you're right. That game.
No, I think the irony is that even if we had bought a striker, we'd still only have like barely 3 attackers anyway. I think we got 4 injuries in the front line. And at the start of the season, we got like 5 or 6 injuries in the defense. If you get injuries in one specific area, there's almost nothing you can do about it. You can't like go and buy a bunch of players that are never going to play. So you've got to roll with the punches. And I think that is actually going to make us kind of more unpredictable, which I think a lot of people wanted. I was tired of seeing sort of the same old Martinelli, Havertz, Saka. Everyone knows what we're going to do. Now, I have no idea what we're going to do, and that's probably going to work in our favor. And everyone was saying that Havertz is crap, Martinelli's crap, Jesus is crap. Who else we got? Sterling's crap. So if it's going to be someone else, like a Calafiori, at least I like it's roll the dice. Maybe they'll be better in this situation.
When he brought him on today, I thought he was going to go up front. I thought he was going to go up front or on the wing.
Oh, Calafiori, you mean?
Yeah, Calafiori. I thought he was going to because of that great shot that shot against Man City when it went in. I thought, because there was talk about it. Even I think there's some. I don't know if they're true, but there was some quotes saying they could use defenders as strikers that was attributed to Arteta during the week, and it's like it was just so like it was so schoolyard football in terms of they just shoved the big men up front. They just crossed it in.
That's actually the most schoolyard football ever thing. Because I remember when we were kids, we just put the tall bastards up top all the time. And we just fucking spam crosses. You get me? That's a thing, by the way. That actually used to be a thing. The fat guys were in goal. The tall guys were up top. The quick guys were on the wing. And like the bulky guys were centre back. That's basically what the fuck happened.
This is proper Premier League football. Martin will know this. Man City Mo will know this. Where when it was a 4-4-2 era, when you were losing, you just shoved your defender up front. It was the best header up front. You just shoved him up front and you just lobbed the ball into him.
You know who did that for 6 months? Klopp. Remember when he played Cocker up top?
Yes.
The Spurs centre back when he got him a fucking low and he fucking used to play. We signed the Spurs centre back and we fucking played him up top for 6 months. Bro.
We might be seeing like against Atletico Madrid away, needing to score a goal, and we've got Merino and Calafiori front 2.
Oh my
god! Trying to like work out some kind of scenario there.
Please do that. If you get Juventus in the next round of the Champions League because they're so defensive themselves, please just do that.
The thing is, the only player that I look at from this Arsenal team today, though, that deserves like a whoa. Of course, Merino, he scored twice, but for me, Nwaneri, fucking
yes.
Every time he got the ball, like something was gonna happen.
He hit the post twice, didn't he? Hit the post twice.
Yeah.
Like, where the hell did they get this kid from? I have no idea. All of a sudden, there spawns a new kid from Hayland, and this guy is fucking
he was sitting on the bench. For some, he was sitting on the bench because remember he gave him microwave minutes after Tony. Tony said, "Remember when that season when they done the Amazon documentary?" And Tony said, "Think about with the boys," and he let him on for 2 minutes or 1 minute just to say he gave the youngest player his little debut. So we
were trying to get him on a deal.
But we ain't seen him since, and then now he's playing. But he could have really played when Odegaard was injured.
12 minutes.
You know what I mean? That's
what makes me feel confident is that the rest of the team is fine. Like the defense, the midfield, the goalie. I'm happy with all that kind of stuff. So I feel like a very good team is going to struggle to score against us, and that'll put us in a good position to just win.
Martin, I got a question. Confident in what?
In winning something, winning the Premier League or the Champions League.
What? Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Arsenal. Arsenal.
You're Are you joking or are you being honest?
I'm being
Because I ain't
honest.
watched this show in a while, like in like a couple of weeks, yeah. So
You won't find
I'm
many
I
other
was like,
Arsenal fans that'll believe, but I still think we've got a chance to win one of those
so
two.
let's say you're struggling against a Leicester and like some of the teams right now. So do you think you can actually beat some of the teams that are in the Champions League?
Yeah, I think so.
Without
Because
actually
with
with the
strength of the
injuries
team.
that you got as well now. So
Hmm?
forget that your team was really good before, whatever. Yeah, right now you got
Yeah.
the injuries to your front line, and you got Sterling and whatever. So do you think that they can actually beat some of the big boys in the Champions League?
I think we can what's called shithouse our way to wins in the Champions League, where we just shut them out and we try and get the 1 goal difference or win on penalties or something. But it'll require a lot of luck. I'm not saying that it's like a shoe-in or anything, but I'm not scared of anyone particularly at the moment in the Champions League. Because Real Madrid and City are playing each other. That's one going to be down. It just depends on the draw and how it rolls
Munich,
out.
Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Liverpool. You're not scared of anyone.
I don't think we should be scared of anyone because then you're going to lose. If you're scared, then you got no chance. So I don't know. Stand up,
To be fair, I don't, obviously when you're in phase 5, you shouldn't be scared of anyone anyway. But it's just right now, yeah. It's just I don't know.
Yasser is on it. Yasser is on it. Let's go.
For me,
Okay.
it's mostly obviously your recruitment. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? You have to have backup for some of the players, especially Saka. We knew, like a lot of us knew from almost a year and a half ago, that there's a potential where you can get injuries. And if you do get injuries, who's gonna, you know what I mean, especially when you haven't been able to win the league and other trophies a couple of years ago and when you were running for the title, where is the other things gonna come from? And you didn't end up getting no useful player, in my opinion, last summer. You didn't get anything that you needed in January either. Because you had enough centre backs anyway.
Here's the
You had
thing,
enough
right?
centre backs anyway. You didn't really need
Fuck
any more.
you, Georgie. All you had to survive was 10 more minutes. Fucking useless bastard.
Here's the thing that's people will mention that I've seen it in the chat a couple of times. Oh, we beat City 5-1. Yeah, but since then, no matter how you rate them, you've lost Martinelli to injury, you lost Havertz to injury. Okay, no matter how we rate them, you've lost options basically, and that's why we're talking about having the absurdity of having to put Mikel Merino up front with Declan Rice in the last.
And I'll be honest, Andrew, they didn't beat us because they were magnificent. They beat us because we were gifted them goals for fun. If anyone watched that game with half a brain, know what was going on in that game. But never mind. I've got to do this.
This thing where anything they do just goes wrong.
I've got to do this silly glazing stuff to suit.
If you've got no faith in the manager, then obviously you're not going to believe that he's going to take us to the promised land. But I do. So I think that he's going to find solutions to these problems. I mean, we talk about our attack missing, but our attack's been kind of like a fugazi anyway. We're scoring with Gabriel. We're scoring with Calafiore. We're scoring with Miles Lewis-Skelly. It's not the strikers that have been doing the work for us. And I think that we've got enough different ways of scoring that we'll be fine. We'll actually be fine.
The only thing I hate about this conversation is people just not keeping the same energy. Because I remember I was doing content 4 years ago, when we had no center backs to the end of the season. People called us the worst title. What's it called? Like trying to retain your title, whatever the fuck it's called. The worst title retainers ever. And Liverpool are crap and all this. Now people will say, this is unprecedented. The whole attack is injured. No, they're not. Because Trossard and Sterling are part of the attack. We actually have no active centre-backs. No active serious centre-backs in the whole club. You know, we signed a guy, Ben Davies. I don't know where the fuck he is right now. Let me actually Google, where the fuck is Ben Davies right now?
He's still there.
Ben Davies, Wikipedia. Last I read, he used to play for fucking... Oh, there he is. He he's on loan at Birmingham City from Rangers. Fucking hell, bro. He actually made 0 appearances for Liverpool. And Ozan Kabak. Let me check who Ozan Kabak play for right now. Ozan
I don't know.
Kabak.
I think he went back to Germany or something.
Where the fuck is he?
Sorry.
Oh, he plays for Hoffenheim.
Said that the panel
Germany,
I ain't got now to be salty about. I ain't got now to be salty about. You think 1 bad 6 months when I've just won 4 in a row, a treble, 100 points, 4 midables. Yeah, I'm salty. Okay.
No, he wouldn't be salty. There's no need to be salty anyway.
What you showing me that for? See, that's the thing. That's the thing, Martin. You don't get your. You know why your fan base is not liked? Because you're the most arrogant fan base that has done jack shit.
What's the point of a fan base? Is it to be liked or is it to be hated?
You've waffled on for 20 minutes. You have got this arrogance in your fan base like you are Real Madrid.
It's because I did 5-1.
Leicester City have won a title before you in the last 20 years.
What?
I don't get it.
What?
I don't get it. You don't even get the humble bit.
You don't understand how big a club Arsenal is compared to Leicester?
Leicester have won the Premier League a lot sooner than you have.
That's what I don't
Is
get.
that how we judge teams, like in the last few years? Like, or do we
I'm not
include
allowed,
the entire history
Matt,
of the club?
I'm not allowed to talk about history. I get told
Why not?
City only started in 2008 because I won an FA Cup before you were even Arsenal to get back in your box.
But you can do the count from 130 years ago or whatever. Like
Well,
that's how we
then.
compare the teams, right?
Yeah, all right then. City won an FA Cup before you were even Arsenal. You were still Woolwich.
Okay, well, you're the kings of the FA Cup. How many have you got?
Because you've got a few more FA Cups.
We've got a lot more, actually. I think
How
we've
many
got probably about 10 more than
European
you
Cups
guys.
have you got? Jack shit, back in your box. See you later. How many trebles you got? Jack shit, nothing. How
All
many
I did was
points have you
5-1,
got?
and you're
Jack
just going
shit,
on a rant.
nothing.
I don't
When was the
understand.
last time you won 4 in a row? When was the last time you won 4 titles in a season? When was the last time you won 5 trophies in 1 calendar year?
When
You
was the last time you went
one
invincible?
trophy in 5 years, and you go out of every single cup competition. Say you've got bigger fish to fry, give over, and all you do is buy Man City rejects.
Why do you
And
think
every single one of
fan
them
base
have got
should be
more
liked by
medals
other
than all
people? I
your
don't understand that.
players.
Yeah, don't blame me. Blame Henry. You know what I mean?
Henry, yeah.
This is true. This is not any of our faults, you know.
You could have won the Champions League, mate.
If you were a little bit more humble, people would respect it more. But you're not.
I
You
don't
don't
care
get the
about
humbleness.
respect. You guys hate Arsenal anyway, regardless of if we were
Then
nice
stop
to you.
giving
Or
it
if
the
we were
I don't
all
hate
the time.
Arsenal. I don't hate Arsenal. I really
No,
don't.
come on, Hussam. Deep down, you want.
Listen,
I mean, I've seen you
respect
doing a hate
Arsenal
along.
I
football.
want my team to win the league. That doesn't mean I hate Arsenal. I don't
I
hate
know,
Arsenal.
I know. Liverpool is a different case, but
Man,
I've met a
I
few
don't-
Liverpool fans that said that they hate Arsenal.
I
It's
don't
fine.
care how I sound to the Arsenal fans. I think Arsenal fans are so arrogant. So I've got loads of respect for your football club. Your fan base, I've no respect for because
Oh,
you're so arrogant.
Yeah.
I don't know about arrogant. I just said 5-1, and then you went on a rant.
What are we doing?
Well,
this
you haven't
for?
won the league in
5-1?
5 years. Why does 5-1 matter? Like with this manager,
Because
you
that's
haven't
what I
won
was
Used to
telling
rattle
you.
him. He's right next to me. I'm on shows.
Well,
You know
every
why?
time.
Bro,
We'd
like,
never
Because you are
beat
too busy wanting to win little battles because you can't win a war. And that is your
All
problem.
right. Okay. Where are
Told
you in
this
the league?
before.
I don't know where you are.
When was the last time you
okay.
won a trophy?
FA
5
Cup.
years ago. Speaking of 5,
Oh,
When was the last time you
three-
won a European Cup?
They won
I
3
don't
shields,
know.
Martin.
93.
You never have. Never won a Champions League.
They got
Yeah,
the
you
shield,
guys got one from Inter, and now I'm still mad at Mo about it.
the community shield. You know what I mean?
Mo's a fraud still.
They only beat
Hussam,
that
if it was
on-
Liverpool,
You only beat us out on penalties.
if it was
Okay.
Liverpool relying on 2 17-year-olds, you'd say we're out of the title race and that kids can't win you a title. Arsenal, you still must. Yeah, this is true. Arsenal must. Listen, I'm just here. I'm just the leopard on the tree. I have no business being here. You know, I'm just chilling. I'm just hanging out. You know, and Arsenal have the pressure. I didn't spend 800 million. I bought Chiesa. He ain't got no hamstring, no knees, and no place on the
Wow,
match day
you really
squad
just
either.
mixed a whole bunch of crap together there, didn't you? Spent 800 million. How did you build that thing again?
It's reality. It's reality. I'm not involved. Big up to Emmanuel who says we have the best defense and scored the second most. Who the fuck is this about?
Arsenal.
Yeah.
Well, that's not true because City scored more goals than you. Hey.
Let me-
Did they?
Shit,
Oh,
shit
52
City.
to
Shit
51.
City. Shit City, Martin.
Hold
Hey, I
that,
didn't say
mate.
shit, did he?
Yes, you did.
You
You
said
were-
Hold
shit.
that,
Where are you in the league?
Emmanuel.
Where are you in the league?
I don't know where you are. You're so far behind. I don't know.
Hold that,
Listen.
mate.
Broken.
You know what?
9
I
points.
would
Are
just-
you going to finish above
I
us this
just-
season?
I just love these two, man. I just sit back. I just love it.
Same.
Are you going to finish
I
above
love
us
it.
this
I
season?
love it.
Fucking Anthony Robertson has 10 assists. What the fuck, bro?
Yes, he
Fair
does.
enough,
Yeah, he
Anthony
does. Yeah.
Robertson.
Well, I
Fair
thought you
enough.
said
Big up to all
Robertson.
the Americans
What?
watching us right now. Your left back is killing it in the league. Anyway, speaking of shit city, perfect segue to shit city, who slapped 4 goals past Newcastle today. Big up to every single one of you guys. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel if you're yet to do so. Everyone, please, right now, hit the like button and subscribe. Keep getting involved. Guys, we're not even at 200 likes yet. What the fuck, bro? We have 600 people in here. Come on. Be clinical like Marmoush. You get me? And hit the like button. Right.
Can we talk about Baby Rodri? Can we have a chat about Baby Rodri first?
Yes, you can. This is your section. How many goals did City
Baby
concede?
who?
Let me know.
Baby Rodri.
35 goals they've conceded. So, quick Google search would have saved you the super chat.
I'm pretty sure no one has ever said baby someone and it worked out to be a good thing in the long term. So I don't know if City should really do that. Also, it devalues Rodri.
I'm just
Hit
following
the like button. Anyway, let Martin talk about his club. 4-0 win today. Impressive win. Unbelievable win. No one.
That was exactly what I thought. It was a lot better. Youth in the team, pace, directness. It was everything we've been begging for. When we play this slow, pedantic football, it doesn't work. When we play with a bit of pace, a little bit of directness, it really is helping. We're starting to get the best out of Erling Haaland. Marmoush was unplayable today. He was outstanding. Nico Gonzalez in the middle is exactly what we've been missing. He allowed Gundogan to actually do his role properly. Kushinoff, really good at the back. Proper old-style defender, which I love. Love that about him. Everything just came together today. There's been a lot of talk about bad Newcastle were and not enough talk about good City were today. But, you know, you get that. Newcastle were poor, but City were, I think City still win even if Newcastle go up 20%. I thought, apart from probably the first 2 minutes of the game, I thought City just took over from there. And what we got the goals in quick succession, and we kind of took the game away from Newcastle before they could even do anything. Thought Sabinho terrorised. How Lewis Hall stayed on the pitch, I felt for him at the end. Because Sabinho, I know you did a watch along, Sabinho destroyed him.
Slot, I beg you don't play Robertson. I'm begging you, Slot, please.
I'm begging he does next week because Sabinho will have a field day.
No, Robertson. I fucking beg you. Please, no, Robertson. Begging you.
I remember when Hussam was writing down every time he hit the first man. I swear.
Hey, he's shit defending now as well, and I'm just thinking of Savinho dribbling past him, and I'm like, oh no, please no, please no.
Do you know what? It's actually unusual for a player to actually come into his first season and actually perform, you know.
Yeah.
Normally it takes people a year or so to get up to the Pep standard. But this is what we've got to do now going forward. I know what the long-term plan is, because next season, when we've got rid of the old guard and we brought some young, hungrier players in, which I think that's what's been needed. The trouble is, these players, KDB, Bernardo, Gundogan, they are legends of the football club now. But everyone has an expiry date. They've won 4 in a row. They've won everything they've won. Have they got the same hunger that they've had before? I'm not sure they have. So what do you do? You bring in young, hungry players who want a piece of that action. They want to go again. And I think we'll do that. I think, you know, Kevin De Bruyne, some will say the greatest ever City player, but I think it's time he goes. You know, we can bring in a Florian Wirtz, or we can bring in a Musiala. You got Echeverri coming in who's young and hungry, and he's absolutely ripping it up in that under-20s tournament at the moment. And the good thing with Echeverri is we're bringing him in nice and early, so he can adapt for the next 4 months. So he's sort of ready. It's looking promising, but we've got to continue it. I don't want to see on Wednesday night as them. Where my worry is, we've rested KDB and Bernardo today, and Ake and Diaz. Does that mean that we're going to go back to the slow, pedantic, sideways passing football again?
You know that he's going to go with the experience.
I know he will, and that's what bothers me. If we play today like that on Wednesday, we have a chance.
Yeah, but he won't do it though. You know,
I
he's
know
gonna
he
go
won't.
with the experienced guys.
That's
man.
what will
Yeah.
annoy everyone. That's what, because you did the watch along. You will know. Even you must have seen a total different pace and change in City today.
Oh hell yeah. Of course. Completely
And that's
different.
what it has to be. That's what it has to be now. But I know he'll go there on Wednesday and he'll play the slow pedestrian 90-year-old midfield, and we've just got to deal with it.
If he goes with, let's say for the sake of argument, he goes with the team that he played today. Let's say today he watches the game and he's like, you know what? Maybe I need to replicate this on Wednesday. And he plays the same exact starting 11. Wolves FI here, of course, this is the $1 million question in everyone's mind. Can City do the madness this Wednesday? This is the thing that's everyone's...
But the only way he can do it is doing what he did today. He cannot do it the way he did it on Tuesday. Can't do it. You're gonna get picked off.
I just need fucking Real Madrid out this competition.
Yeah, Real Madrid drew today as well.
I don't.
So you want City in instead?
Yes.
But
Really?
he's not going to do that. Pep is going to revert back to type.
I'm more worried of a City than a Real Madrid.
He steps on.
Martin, there's something that you just don't understand, and Martin will tell you this. City Martin will tell you this. Me and him have both
Real Madrid
experienced
heritage. Yes.
over no, it's not heritage. Over the last 5 fucking years, we have both watched our team just fucking destroy the soul of Real Madrid, and somehow they're the ones who won. I don't know how. They have this fucking dark magic on that competition. It just makes no sense. Like I still remember the City Madrid game. That game probably gives Martin PTSD till the day he rests. Now he's never gonna like. We're watching the game, and it said on the top left corner of the screen, 99% City win. Rodrigo comes on, just scores 2 goals just like that, and all of a sudden it's like, we're fine. Like it's just
We were 3-0 up, and then
Madrid
got that
we were
goal.
5 minutes away. We were 3-0 up. We were 5 minutes away from going through against them.
By the way,
you won man of the match against the Champions League final. They had like one shot, bro. It was the fucking Vinicius goal. That's
you
it.
can be 2-1 up in the Bernabeu, and 92 minutes are on the clock, and you're playing till 94. And Real Madrid will somehow get that 2 goals. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah,
they've got some.
I just mean more like purely footballing perspective. I'm more worried about what City can achieve if they start to get their mojo back together with this extra 180 million they spent in January. I think that they're going to be more formidable than what Real Madrid look to me right now, where they're a little bit disjointed. But I don't count Real Madrid out. Obviously, it's going to be very hard.
Not this season, we won't. Next season, like I said, I do think we'll win the title next year. I do think we'll go on next year. This year, I think it's just a rebuild and transition season. I don't mind us improving, because then at least I'd rather get the plan in order for next season now. So we have to hit the ground running next year with it.
I'm gonna be so real with you. I really think City are just winning the league next season. I'm completely. I'm handing them the title. That's why I really want us to win this year so bad, because I just know next year they're going to be on it. But just like from a Champions League perspective, Liverpool probably looked at right now as the best team in Europe. Like, I mean, top of the group and everything, and like obviously top of the league.
Yes.
But I still don't want to face Real Madrid. Fuck beating them in the group stages. These guys lost to Sheriff Tiraspol, and they ended up like, listen, the knockout stages, it becomes a game of moments. And they're the team who have the most moments players. Valverde can do a moment. Camavinga can do a moment. Mbappe, Vinny, Rodrigo, all these guys can just do a moment out of nowhere. Vinicius ain't scored a goal in like fucking 3 months, bro, in the league. Like, I think he scored against Osasuna, the return leg last time, and he's been shit ever since. And even he, like in the last 3 months of the Champions League, in a knockout stage scenario, he'll just turn it up. The reason why I want
look at that Mbappe goal against City. I mean, how ridiculous was that?
Also, Arsenal, Martin, you specifically, you just did what to Martin? You just did this, right? You're the last person that should be worried about Why are you worried about Man City then? If you drew Man City in the Champions League, you should. I would actually say, given the way that you play, I would say even in a Champions League setting, I'd say probably Arsenal beat City. But not
Yeah,
Madrid.
coming
Madrid will
up
slap
against
the
Real
fuck out of you,
Madrid.
Martin. I will be so honest with you. Madrid will
but like,
slap out.
other people have said that City are dead and whatever. And I've said all along that I feel like that they're just one game away from turning it around and becoming unstoppable again. So I don't really want to come up against the City that's around this mojo.
Nowhere near.
No, not
Nowhere near.
unstoppable. It's too early. It's too early. Like, okay, I'll tell you something. I don't know if Martin agrees with this, and I'll get his opinion on it as well. Like, you want to know why what City done is smart? And I wish my club operated this way. We don't, because we're dumb. And John W. Henry's see you next Tuesday. But City looked at this year and they're like, okay, we're fucking shit this year. Instead of us doing everything in the summer, let's just get like 50% of the shit done in January. And now what that does is Marmoush, Nico Gonzalez, everyone that they brought in this January will now have a 6-month adaptation period where they get used to the manager and the city and the league and the players. And by the time next season starts, they don't need an adaptation period. And only the people they brought in the summer will need an adaptation period. So essentially, the 7-8 players you brought in, 4 or 5 of them have already like gotten used to everything. And it's just the 4 or 5 new guys that now need to get used to like the new stuff. So like they're doing like a step ahead rebuild thing. And the reason why I don't think they're there yet, Martin, is the following. Okay, so Marmoush was amazing, right? It's not crazy to say that maybe Marmoush's next game he's shit, and then the game after he's good, and the game after he's good, but then he like has a bad game again, and etc. Because it takes you time. Like Marmoush ain't gonna score a hat-trick or a brace every single game. He ain't gonna have all those finishes every single game. Like maybe next game against Liverpool, he's crap. And this is normal. And then the game after that, he's good again. And the game after, he's good. Maybe Nico Gonzalez is going to have a run of 3, 4, 5 bad games. But it's normal because they're getting used to the league, getting used to the country, getting used to the
manager. He's only 2021 and he's getting used to Victor Hayes. You've got Echemedi, by the way. I cannot wait to see this kid in action. And not only that, we've got the Club World Cup. We know we're not going to get all our business done when we're away for 4 weeks in America to do it.
We don't have time to rest either.
Exactly, you're in the same predicament. You know how it is. You know, to be honest, no fan really wants to be going out there and doing that, but the clubs do it because they get 100 odd million for being in this comp, and it's a damn lot of money to be there.
Yep.
So that's why, and we have to hit the ground running because, by the way, Chelsea and City have both asked for their Premier League games to be pushed back, and the Premier League have denied it. So yeah, it tells you how much they want to help us or help Chelsea or help the Premier League. No man, it is what it is. So everyone's going to have a head start anyway because none of our players will have had rest. We're going to go straight into it, and I think squads need. I think the squad will get bigger. Listen, today's a start. I have to see it more often. But I could put my hands up and say this is just simply, you know this, Sam, I've said it on my channel 1,000 times. It's a transition season. I've called it #fun season because I'm just going to enjoy it. I can sit back in my rocking chair and watch everyone else fight out this year. I don't mind it. I'll enjoy it. Listen, do you know how stressful it's been for the last 5 years? By the way, I get, you know, from Martin, your point of view, you've done it for 2 years and you've been brilliant. But I've had bloody this idiot on my case for the 2 years before it as well. I've been doing this for 4 or 5 years, 90, 97 points, 98, 99. I'm bored. I'm like, I want a season off. I don't want to go into May having a panic attack anymore. But I know.
By the way, I think Martin will agree. The Liverpool City title races were even more fucking stressful. I'll be so honest with you because we just
both of us had to win.
You know, Martin, your fan base is feeling all upset and shit. Bro, I fucking got 97 points and didn't win the league. Do you understand how much of like a fuck you to my life that was? Like that's just
that's why you still don't say you're in a title race now. You've got PTSD from
because PTSD is fucking real, mate. 97 points, I didn't win the league. Are you mad? Of course I'm gonna have PTSD.
Didn't you win like 20 games on the bounce and we won 21 games on the bounce? I remember the game at Burnley Turf Moor when Aguero literally toe-bunged it over the line in like the 88th minute for us to win at Burnley away. And you're like, this is where you're at with it.
I remember Adama Traore scoring twice at the Etihad, and I celebrated those like their Liverpool goals. like genuinely.
You know what? You know what you got to enjoy being Liverpool though in those races is not being like having Klopp out debates after every single match while you're trying to compete with City for the league.
You want to know why that didn't happen? Because Klopp won the Champions League.
No, I know, but like you know why that's such a luxury? It's like having the full belief of your entire fan base and not attacking each other.
Martin, but this is what I'm trying to explain. It's not the trouble is your fan base have gone Champions League or Premier League. Yes, Liverpool may have missed out on a title, but they had an FA Cup, a League Cup, a Champions League, still back it up.
Yeah, I don't think that's
I'm trying to be deadly serious now.
You think your fan base would be in meltdown if you won the Champions League last year? I don't think they would have. If Arsenal won the Champions League last year, no one would be like.
No, I'm saying we haven't won that. Like it's. I'm saying you got these.
Bro, everyone would be fucking Arteta in. Like literally everyone.
He'd have a statue.
But Martin, you have to build towards that.
Rightfully
So win a couple other trophies, win the league, win the Champions League. Like you can't not win anything and then win the Champions League.
I don't understand,
especially with like a squad that hasn't won anything. And that.
Why is it only the
young age?
Why can't you win the others? Why is it just them two? Why can't
because we're out of the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, so I can't win those this season.
That's why.
I think what you should have done. I think what you should have done is during his first 2 seasons, he should have concentrated on the cups in his first 2 seasons. So then you build up. So then
he won the FA Cup when that team went to crap.
No. But what I mean is with the squad he now assembled, the squad he now assembled, it was beginning to assemble. He got rid of who he wanted to get rid of. He should have concentrated more on the cups in those times, and it would have built something. You know what I mean? But
I don't know.
We can't.
I don't know. Ten Hag won the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, and he got sacked. I'm hard to see a building from these domestic cups. It doesn't seem to happen that often.
Ten Hag broke him. Ten Hag's the holder of the most negative records in Man United managerial history. You know
but he won the domestic cups. He could have gone from there, right? It should have been galvanizing the mentality of the team to take him to the title.
No, because Martin,
I think it's too simplistic to say he has to win the cups. I think you win the cups and you build on it. You know what I mean? That's the thing. You build it. What do you build after that? It's not simply just by winning the cups. Oh, I'm glad we finished 9th. That's not, what do you build after?
The thing is,
that?
with winning the cups, I understand. Like, here's the thing. Like Arteta, as an example, this season, if you're in his place, you're probably kicking yourself for the FA Cup because all the big teams are out. Like Liverpool are out. United, you would have kicked out United because it was you versus United. Spurs are out. Chelsea are out. Your only competition essentially would have been fucking Man City. That's it. And Man City are a team you have beaten.
Sam,
like
Sam,
this
do you know
year.
how pissed I am?
If they, isn't like they're like
pissed
9 championship, like 8 or 9 championship sides in the fucking next round? Yeah, that's mad.
Yeah.
That's mad. So,
but Sam, you know how pissed I am? We're out of the cup. The 24 hours later, you lot lose to Plymouth. That means the favourites are gone.
I'm actually sat there,
If you avoid,
I've had a crap season, and I'm sat there going, I might actually still win an FA Cup. If I can win an FA Cup and top 4, I'm saying, you know what? With what we're dealing with, I'm good season for me. I'll say that. Yeah. I'm happy with it. Day out of Wembley, I'll enjoy it.
Martin, can I ask you a question? Sorry,
go on.
Can you ask Martin what do you say? The footy judge Mo question that you asked me?
Which Martin?
I think the audience supported that at this point, but
his threshold for sacking Arteta.
Not Man City, Martin. Come on, let's leave our heads.
Yeah, because Man City Martin should never be Pep out. I'll be honest. If I'm in his place, I think if fucking Pep is 16.
Are you asking me from Pep out? Any City fan
I'm asking Arsenal.
Any City fan saying Pep out needs to go to an hospital, have a brain scan, have a chat, look themselves in the mirror, and then throw themselves in the mirror. Anyone saying Pep out, honestly, crazy. That is mad.
We did see him.
Hussam's
So
been in my
let's end the stream on that question.
Arsenal
Martin, what's your threshold, mister? Go ahead.
Here we go again.
Tell me.
You asked it to Chelsea about an hour ago.
No, I know. I asked it because I get asked every stream, and you jumped down my throat. Like, why am I the only one that has to answer this damn question? But yes, he has to win a major trophy,
We answered.
Premier League, or yeah, you guys said vague, maybe sixth from memory. So that was really nothing.
for the Champions League and Conference League, fucking vague ass answers.
I never said that.
What?
I said
Don't
top.
fake our
basically top
answers.
four,
You agreed. You mean you agreed?
No,
You
you
fucking-
got to
you
finish
said-
better.
I
said-
dare you. I'm telling you right now. I dare you fucking finish sixth. I will ruin Chelsea's life this summer. I'm telling you all right now. If you fucking finish sixth, oh my, I'm gonna be on your neck. Pochettino will be on every Chelsea stream.
You
I'm telling
can't
right now.
ruin my life. It's already ruined to begin with.
Yes, I can. You motherfucker. You know
Oh,
I
what
can.
a surprise.
Yes,
You
I
probably
can.
thought-
Last year, you know what the
Yeah.
fuck I did last year to your fan base. There's a reason why Lewis isn't Maresca out. He knows Hussam. That's why. Because if
Oh,
he
yeah.
says Maresca out, oh, I'm gonna be on his neck. He knows. Like he would have to just like fucking block my number if he says Maresca out. Anyway, go
Don't
on,
worry, old champ.
Arsenal. Martin.
In about 2 months, I'm going to invite you onto a lovely stream on the Mancunian way. In about 2 months, you're going to come on when the 115 comes out, and you're going to sit and take the heat for about 3 hours.
Yeah.
Because you know he's coming. You know he's coming now. We've already
I'm
beaten
not
the
involved.
ATP. Now we're
I'm
going
not
on the
involved. I'm
115.
not involved.
We will be there.
Listen, I studied chemical engineering, not law. Anyway, so there is no need to ask any thresholds anymore. We better beat Wolves tomorrow. Big up to every single one of you guys. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing. Thank you to every single super chatter. Big up Nafisa, Emmanuel, BIG, JB, Jenny, O'Malley, and 20 for the super chats. Big up to all of you guys. Do hit the like button on your way out. Do subscribe to the channel if you're yet to do so.
Yeah,
All
but by
you
the way,
amazing
before you close, are we
Yes.
still on our agreement? Is it a guaranteed 3 points next Sunday? I just need to know we're on our agreement that we always do.
I'll be honest with you. I've actually had quite a few City fans tell me I want you to beat us just so Arsenal don't win the league. I'm like, damn, shit. I don't know.
Do you
Say
guys
that.
want to like switch me over to the side so you can cuddle, or like is it City?
They're gonna
pool?
treat.
No,
they're gonna
no,
treat-
no, no, no,
They're
no.
gonna treat. your
I'm just
players like
telling
they
you,
did
I
Tottenham.
swear, wallahi, there are people who message me on Snapchat, like City fans who go like, please beat us on Sunday so Arsenal don't win the league. I'm like, fucking hell, you guys hate them
But
that much?
didn't Hamza say come get your 3 points or something like that? He said
Yeah. Oh,
he-
Hamza's
he-
with us.
We have an agreement, Martin. They win at
Yes.
Anfield, we win at the Etihad, and we all move on happily. It's just the way it works.
Okay, but you're playing at the Etihad, right? Or is it Anfield?
Yeah,
No, the
Etihad.
Etihad.
The Etihad. Okay, so it's City's 3 points. I don't think Hussam can live with that. There's not enough of a lead still existing.
I think they come back
Who
from
have
the
you got next
Bernabeu.
week?
I actually think if they beat Madrid, they lose to us, as mad as that sounds. Because their head would be on Mars after that game, like in terms of like we just fucking eliminated Real Madrid, and they'd be like so Champions League focused. I think they would just fucking like just nonchalant gimmick against us and lose. But anyway, listen, that's beside that. We'll get there when we get there. Anyway, guys, this was an absolutely incredible stream. Everyone's channel is in the description. Mancunian Way, Sad's Football Corner, Yasser TV, The
Saad
Winter
Football
Stuff.
Corner. Where's Saad?
For Martin, bro. Come on, like it's just Martin.
I'd like to change that to like
Ah, that
Tunnel
makes
TV.
sense,
or
I forgot.
something.
Yeah, you're on Saad.
it's just it's a channel hopper. Look, here he comes. Here come the
I
fraud.
don't
right
have a
here.
channel, so
Fucking fraud. Arsenal versus the World. Casually FC. Yeah, they're all in the description, man. Just open up the description, give them a subscribe. Yasser been commenting as well in the comment section. Go show him
My
some love.
internet goes amazing now. We're ending.
Yeah, it's fucking
my-
HD, Martin. All of a sudden,
No
just
lag.
because we're wrapping up the stream, fucking HD internet, just whoa, unbelievable. Right? Anyway, we're gonna be redirecting to the Bridge Nation, so make sure you spam his chat. How do you piss off a Chelsea fan? Very easy. Watch him.
Put Martin on the
Everyone-
stream and ask him that question that he just asked, please.
Just spam his chat with Pochin right now. This stream is going to take you over to the Bridge Nation. Make sure we are letting him know that Hussam is raided and spam his chat with fucking Pochin right here.
also
Oh,
before
you
we
can say
go,
fuck- Yes.
I want to retract my apology to Chelsea fans about Maresca. I believe that someone forced that on me like a few months ago, and I would like to take it back. You guys are still crap.
Yes, Pochin, spam that shit in his chat. Anyway, see you guys tomorrow, inshallah. Peace out.
Jesus.